Late November 1969. It's what you believe that counts. Base camp had hot food, hot showers, movies, real beds, PX, and people to make sure you didn't enjoy them. It was rightly assumed that we would start shamming and look for any excuse to not go back to the field if we started partaking of the pleasures of base camp. As a result, we were subjected to inspections, police calls, picking up cigarette butts, and in general all the Army protocols that were overlooked in the field. I guess that is why I wasn't all that excited to be chosen to go to base camp to pick up a new APC. The APC to pick up had been a showpiece to demonstrate the new hull that would protect the APC from the B-40 rockets that damaged so many of our tracks. After being the showroom model, my driver and I had the honor to take it into action. The plan was to catch a ride on the morning convoy to base camp, pick up the track, catch the first convoy back that afternoon with minimum time in base camp. To reduce the hassle further, I would not take my weapon and my driver would only carry a side gun. Even with Mang Yang Pass between us and base camp, this seemed like a minimal risk since the convoy would be well protected and I'd be armed with a .50 caliber machine gun on the return trip. The narrow road to Mang Yang Pass is where the French lost a decisive battle. As we crossed the mountain pass, it was easy to understand how one crippled vehicle on the narrow winding road could leave a whole convoy stranded with no room to pass or turn around. The whole convoy could become a shooting gallery for mortars and artillery. Everything was going according to plan. We arrived in base camp safely. The hot food was great. The new APC was a beautiful war machine. The shiny .50 caliber machine gun looked awesome. And with no time to sham and catch the convoy back, I even felt respected by the men in base camp. We drove to the armory and picked up the ammunition for the .50 caliber. As always, I loaded the first round of the belt and then left the cover up for safety. If you needed firepower, just close the cover, grab the handle, and push the butterfly trigger with your thumbs. We arrived at the checkpoint, only to find we missed the last convoy. The driver and I weighed our options. Should we take on Mang Yang Pass alone? Pros. It was still early. We had the firepower. An APC was usually responsible for itself and several other vehicles. And if we returned to base camp, we'd be treated like shammers. On the con side, only a couple of idiots would go through Mang Yang Pass alone. As we made each turn on the winding mountainous road, it felt so different from the trip earlier in the day with the convoy. Each turn became more exhausting as it became later, and I worried that the enemy, knowing the last convoy had passed for the day, might be using the road. When we were finally safe back in the folds of our unit, I stopped to say a little prayer to thank God for watching out for me, even when I do stupid things. The next night, I was woken by gunfire. I jumped on the track, grabbed the .50 caliber, and slammed the cover down, only to see it pop back up. I slammed it again, and again it popped up. The .50 caliber was defective. We had driven through Mang Yang Pass without a working .50 caliber.